You think you're buying a $6,000 standby generator? You're actually starting a $15,000 project. Generac, Kohler, and Briggs & Stratton sell you the machine. The electrician, the concrete pad, the permits, the gas line, the transfer switch. Those are separate bills from separate people. And nobody hands you the total until it's too late to walk away. That's one of 7 traps on this list. And it isn't even the one that can kill you. These are the traps electricians, installers, and safety agencies keep warning homeowners about, and the ones buyers keep walking into anyway. This isn't about picking the shiniest generator off the showroom floor. It's about the costs nobody quotes you up front, and the safety shortcuts that kill about 92 people a year. Number 3 involves a danger so misunderstood the Consumer Product Safety Commission issued new recommendations in 2025. And number 1 catches more homeowners than any other, a financial blind spot most people don't discover until the invoice hits the table. Here are 7 generator buying traps that will blindside you. We'll finish with the one most likely to blow up your budget. Number 7. The noise and placement oversight. Most people pick a spot for their generator the way they'd pick a spot for a grill. Flat ground, out of the way, done. That can land you a fine, a code violation, or worse, carbon monoxide seeping into a bedroom window. Generator noise runs from the mid-50s to the mid-80s in decibels, and many communities enforce nighttime limits, often 55 to 65, plus setbacks and permits. Your HOA may stack its own rules on top, and where both apply, you're held to the stricter one. Codes also set minimum distances between generators and any opening into your home, doors, windows, vents, to keep exhaust out of living spaces, and the exact numbers depend on your jurisdiction and the unit's listing. Placement is one of the biggest factors in whether a generator poisons the house behind it, and we'll get to how bad that gets at number 3. So do the boring thing first. Call your building department and your HOA. Get the noise limits, setbacks, and placement rules in writing, and read the unit's manual. If quiet matters, look at inverter generators. Many run 50 to 60 decibels at light load, about like a conversation, though they climb under heavy load. Nobody skips this on purpose. They skip it because the spec sheet says nothing about your neighbor's property line or your city's noise ordinance. That's your job. And get placement wrong and it stops being a paperwork problem, which is where the next one starts. Number 6. The fuel type confusion. Every generator runs on something: gasoline, propane, diesel, or natural gas. And picking wrong is a trap that doesn't show itself until the power's already out. Gasoline is the default for portables. But at hour 40 of an outage, gas stations lose power too. Lines stretch for blocks, and stored gasoline has a shelf life, so you have to keep it fresh and refuel periodically. Propane burns cleaner and doesn't go stale, though the tank, regulator, and lines still need inspection, and it delivers less power per unit of fuel. Diesel stores longer, but costs more. Natural gas runs continuously, as long as utility service holds, which is most of the time, but not all. And if there's no gas line to your property, that's a separate project before you even start. Almost nobody talks about this one. If your furnace runs on propane and your standby generator runs on propane, a winter storm can drain your tank powering both at once. No heat and no power at the worst possible moment. So audit your property. What fuel lines exist? What's your storage capacity? What else draws from that supply? Match the generator to the fuel you can actually sustain. The sales conversation is about wattage and brand, almost never about whether you can keep the thing fed. Answer that before your credit card comes out. And once it's fed, there's a second way this machine dies on you. Number 5. The maintenance neglect. A well-maintained standby generator can run for 2 decades. A neglected one is finished in under half that. Same machine, same pad, the only difference being whether anybody changed the oil. The most common reason a generator won't start when you need it is the simplest: a dead battery. After that, it's old oil, clogged filters, and gummed-up fuel systems. And skip enough oil changes, and you get an engine seizure, a repair measured in thousands. Annual maintenance runs about $200 to $600, call it $2,000 to $6,000 over a decade, which sounds like a lot until you price replacing the whole unit early. And here's the sting: Generac, Kohler, and Briggs & Stratton all want documented maintenance. If a failure traces back to service, you can't prove you performed. That's where coverage gets contested. Keep every record. So follow the manufacturer's maintenance schedule. Most modern standby units run their own exercise cycle, so you're not doing it by hand. But understand what that cycle proves. It proves the engine starts. It does not prove the generator can carry your house. Ask your dealer when to test it under real load. A generator sitting quietly on a pad looks fine. And that's the whole problem. It looks fine right up until the night it doesn't. The next trap can kill somebody. Number 4. The transfer switch trap. This is where the countdown gets serious. A transfer switch, specifically an automatic transfer switch, or ATS, connects your generator to your panel and prevents backfeed. When electricity flows backward through your wiring, out through the utility transformer, and onto the lines outside. That transformer steps your output back up to distribution voltage, around 7,200 volts, and utility workers repairing downed lines don't expect live current. Backfeeding can kill them. The National Electrical Code requires your generator to be isolated from the utility, which means a transfer switch or an approved interlock kit, never a cord. Functionally, there's no version of hooking a generator to your house where isolation is optional. Stationary installs also fall under NFPA 37, which sets clearances and fuel system requirements your installer must follow. If you're starting to see the pattern, if you're realizing that the biggest generator mistakes aren't about picking the wrong brand, but about everything surrounding the purchase that nobody explains, do me a favor and hit that like button. It helps this reach people who actually want the truth before they spend $10,000. And if you haven't subscribed yet, you belong here. People get around the requirement with a suicide cord, a male-to-male extension cord that plugs straight from the generator into a wall outlet. The CPSC has warned against these for years, and the name isn't an exaggeration. The moment one end is live, you're holding exposed, energized prongs. They bypass your circuit protection and start fires. And if an unapproved connection causes a fire, you've handed your insurer a reason to fight the claim. And backfed power that injures a utility worker is liability well past your deductible. A transfer switch, or ATS, runs roughly $400 to $1,300 installed. An interlock, the budget alternative, about $400 to $850. The fix isn't complicated. Hire a licensed electrician, get the permit, get the inspection. This is not the place to save money. The shortcut works, the generator fires up, the lights come on, everything seems fine. It's not. It's a liability sitting in your breaker panel. Number 3. The carbon monoxide ignorance trap. This isn't the most expensive trap. It's the deadliest. About 92 people die every year in the United States from carbon monoxide poisoning caused by portable generators alone. Since 2009, portable generators account for 40% of all carbon monoxide deaths linked to consumer products. The single deadliest category, the CPSC tracks. People get this dangerously wrong. They think cracking the garage door is enough ventilation. It is not. The CPSC is explicit. Never operate a portable generator inside a home, garage, basement, crawl space, or shed. An open garage door does not provide adequate ventilation to prevent lethal carbon monoxide buildup. The minimum safe distance is 20 feet from the house, away from all windows, doors, and vents, with the exhaust pointed away. And stationary generators aren't automatically safe either. During Hurricane Beryl in 2024, CPSC staff found stationary generators were the carbon monoxide source at 153 Houston area homes in the first 5 days, and portables at 162 more. In June 2025, the CPSC recommended increasing the clearance between stationary generators and building openings from 5 feet to at least 25 feet, and it traced the same pattern back to Hurricane Ida in 2021. Storm after storm, units sited too close to the house put people in the hospital. So what actually protects you? For a portable, look for UL2201 certification or the PGM-AG 300 standard, the ones built around reduced carbon monoxide output and automatic shutoff, and confirm it on the specific model, because not everything on the shelf has it. For a stationary unit, UL2200 is the relevant listing, but it's a broad safety standard, not a carbon monoxide shutoff guarantee. Your protection there is placement, clearances, and a professional who follows them. Put a portable at least 20 feet from any opening. The 25-foot figure for stationary units is a CPSC staff recommendation, not adopted code yet. But if you're placing one today, that's the number I'd plan around, because retrofitting a pad is not fun. And install battery-operated carbon monoxide detectors on every level of your home. Carbon monoxide gives no warning, no smell, no color, no sound. The detector is the warning. Number 2, the sizing disaster. Of everything on this list, this is the one people get wrong most often, and it cuts both ways. Buy too small and your generator overloads, trips its shutoff, and leaves you in the dark. And voltage fluctuations from an undersized unit damage refrigerators, HVAC, and computers. Buy too big, and you've spent thousands on capacity you'll never touch, while burning more fuel at partial load for the life of the unit. With diesel, chronic light loading causes wet stacking, unburned fuel fouling the exhaust and driving up service costs. That one's diesel specific, but the lesson holds. Oversizing isn't a safe default. Now the trap inside the trap. Every appliance has 2 wattage numbers, running watts and starting watts. A refrigerator or sump pump needs a surge to start that can be 3 to 4 times its running draw. If your generator handles the running load but not the starting surge, it shuts down. So adding up the running watt figures on your labels understates what you actually need, sometimes badly. That startup spike is what trips an undersized generator, and that's why I won't give you a square footage rule. Charts say a 2,500 square foot home needs 16 to 22 kilowatts, but square footage tells you almost nothing. 2 identical houses can have wildly different loads depending on gas versus electric heat, air conditioner startup, a well pump, an EV charger, or an electric range. So do the one thing that works. Get a professional load calculation, a licensed electrician measuring your actual circuits and starting loads, not an online guess. The generator you're about to buy is either matched to your home or an expensive mistake waiting for the next outage. Number 1, the hidden costs blind spot. This is the trap that catches more homeowners than every other entry combined, and it's why so many end up bitter about a purchase meant to buy peace of mind. The sticker price is not the price, and it's not close. The national average for a fully installed 18 kilowatt standby system in a 2,000 square foot home lands around $15,000, with most homeowners between $7,500 and $20,000. The generator itself might be $2,000 to $6,000 of that. So where does the rest go? Everything nobody quotes in one place. The electrical work, the transfer switch, a concrete pad, permits, a propane tank, a utility upgrade if your gas meter can't feed the unit, trenching if the generator sits far from your panel, a service upgrade if your panel is old. Everyone swings with your property and region, which is why there's no clean national number, only your number. and you don't see it until somebody walks your property and prices it. Then come the ongoing costs. A 15 to 20 kilowatt generator burns fuel every hour it runs, and every week whether you need it or not, because the exercise cycle runs 52 weeks a year for as long as you own it. And one more thing, nobody at the counter volunteers. Missing service records let a manufacturer argue the maintenance never happened and deny a claim. And Generac, Kohler, Briggs, and Stratton and Cummins all enforce the paperwork. But federal law, the Magnuson-Moss Warranty Act, says a manufacturer can't cancel your entire warranty just because you used an aftermarket part or an independent shop. They can only deny coverage for damage that part or repair actually caused, a much narrower thing than people are told. And plenty of owners walk away from a valid claim because nobody explained the difference. So before you commit, build a total cost of ownership spreadsheet. Generator, installation, transfer switch, pad, fuel infrastructure, permits, annual maintenance, fuel. Get the real number. That's why this catches so many people. Nobody's lying to you. The manufacturer advertises the unit. The installer quotes the labor. The propane company quotes the tank. Every number is honest on its own. Nobody adds them up for you. That's 7 traps that separate an informed buyer from an expensive cautionary tale. If this changed how you think about buying a generator, hit like and subscribe. Then drop a comment. Which trap surprised you most? Carbon monoxide, hidden costs, or transfer switch? Because the best generator decision isn't the one on the showroom floor. It's the one the installer tried to explain, waiting for you to finally listen.